In these times of pandemic, all we think are about infectious diseases. But did you know 61% of deaths in India are because of non-communicable diseases or lifestyle disorders? In the next few minutes, I'm going to be speaking about the commonly seen lifestyle diseases seen in corporates. So first I'm going to be telling you about the most commonly seen diseases which was seen in our clinics before the entire COVID pandemic. Most of the young individuals, corporates, would come to us with problems in digestion. And for this we need to go back and rewind to a previous few weeks. In the last few weeks, I spoke about one important part of Ayurveda, which is prevention, a preventive medicine. As we know that Ayurveda puts a lot of emphasis on prevention of recurrence of disease and also on making sure that the disease does not recur. And if you see a person's life has three parts. In childhood, it is more of kapha. In the middle age, it is more of pitta dosha. And in the later on age, it is more of vata. So last week, I spoke about the problems of vata. And today, I'm going to be speaking about the problems in the middle age and about the commonly seen disease in corporates. So now moving on to the first disease, which is problems in acidity and digestion. As you know that most people have a problem with a weak digestion. If you see a lot of corporates, they come to me and they say that, sir, I have a heartburn, I have indigestion, I have constipation. And the major reasons for this you should know are three. One is the abrupt working hours. A lot of people who work for corporates, who work for big companies, skip their meals. They sleep at at wrong times. They work in the night shift. And if you see working in the night shifts, staying awake at night and being and sleeping during the day can again hamper the digestion. So here are a few remedies. First, it's important to make sure that you eat your food on time. Having a lot of foods which are alkaline, for example, Ayurveda recommends buttermilk. So buttermilk is again different from curds. Curds, if you see, is acidic, while buttermilk is alkaline. So having 2 glasses of buttermilk and eating your food on time, having alkaline foods is what is recommended. So second thing what we have seen, the second most common thing are respiratory problems. Earlier, a lot of people would work in closed places where there would be air condition, and as a result of that, people who have a weakened immunity would get recurrent infections like sinusitis, upper respiratory tract infections. And for this, what does Ayurveda recommend? As you can see on your screen, first we need to make sure that the foods which cause a disease have to be avoided. In Ayurveda, the first line of treatment of any disease is called as Nidana Parivarjana, which is avoidance of the cause. So we need to see what causes an allergy. For certain people, it could be pollution, it could be weed, could be smoke, while for others, it could be cold foods, things which are kept in the fridge like ice creams, sweets, and maida can also increase kapha, the phlegm. And what we need to do is have a simple few home remedies here. Drink boiled water. Drink boiled water, warm water as often as you can. What you can do in addition to this is have a lot of antioxidants like amla or chawanprash can be had, which contains amla. You can also have turmeric boiled milk. And moving on, now it's more important to coming back to a topic here. As I said that this is an era of lifestyle diseases. And as you know that today with the pandemic, we are all working from home. There's absolutely no exercise. Most people are eating 6 and 7 meals a day. And this is going to be a bigger pandemic. After the entire COVID issue is going to be over, the main problem is going to be lifestyle diseases. People are becoming obese, and because of that, we are going to be seeing a lot of problems. So I'm going to be explaining about this briefly. So India is one among the top 10 obese nations in the world. So this is not something to be proud of, but this is the reality. And with people working from home, things are going to get even more difficult. Obesity is just not a problem of the appearance. An obese individual is susceptible to a lot of diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and a lot of cardiovascular diseases. They're more susceptible to problems of the thyroid. So it's important to understand first what obesity is and what it can cause. Most people who have obesity also have a high blood pressure and also land up in diabetes. So this is called as a metabolic syndrome. And these individuals, which is very commonly seen now in between the age group of 20 and 40, that because of a lifestyle, because of eating too much and having less exercise, we see a lot of these lifestyle diseases. And with the coming years, it's only going to get worse. So now I'm going to be speaking about a few of the common seen lifestyle diseases and how we can prevent them and manage them. So first is diabetes. If a person has a few common symptoms like excessive thirst, excessive appetite, excessive urination, these three are known as polyphagia, polydipsia, and this is what is seen in most people. Then we have a lot of young individuals who complain of a urinary tract infection. We have individuals who have boils. So if you have any of the above symptoms, if you have boils, big abscesses, or an increase in urination, please check your blood sugar, because if your diabetes is not under control, later on it can cause a lot of problems. So now how do we take care of basic diabetes? People who are obese and have diabetes, the first important step that you need to do is losing weight. Diabetes can only be reversed by weight loss. It's like dividing the entire treatment into three aspects: diet, exercise, and medicines. We try to keep the medicines to a minimum, and we try to focus more on a diabetic diet and a change in lifestyle. So having exercising of say for about 45 minutes a day is what is recommended. In Ayurveda, in the ancient classics, it's been said that a person needs to exercise a lot. They are given examples like, for example, a person has to dig a well on its own or has to walk for kilometers. So these things are not practically possible now. So we need to do exercises which is to one's own capacity. Coming to the diabetic diet, it's very important to make sure that we eat 2 to 3 meals a day. The entire amount of food we eat or the portion control is very important. It's not only about avoiding sugars. Sugars can be seen in a lot of other processed foods. We have sugar seen in maida, in biscuits, in cakes, in all the soft drinks, in your packed juices. So it's not only avoiding sugar, it's also avoiding foods which are high in sugar. Then people ask me which foods to avoid. So basically foods which are high in sugar are, for example, watermelon, melon, grapes, chiku, and these are the things which have to be avoided. In addition to this, what a person needs to do is have a protein-rich diet. For vegetarians, you can have a variety of dals, and for people who are non-vegetarian, you can have meat as long as it is grilled or cooked and not fried. So as I said, if diet and exercise are both there, then we don't have to go for medicines. But still, for those people who are following a diabetic diet and are following a good routine exercise, they still have high blood sugars, then we have a lot of Ayurvedic treatments. We have herbs which will help in bringing down the sugar levels. Then moving on, the heart diseases. As I said, obesity not only causes diabetes, it causes an increase in cholesterol. And hypercholesterolemia is what is the major cause for most of the heart diseases. There is a lot of controversy on the exact levels of cholesterol, so let's not get into it, but just look at what Ayurveda says about heart disease. So if you want to see that 52% of corporates in India have a history of a heart problem. This is alarmingly high. 52%. So in your office, out of 100 people, 52 have a problem. And the basic things which cause this are a high calorie food, eating a lot of junk foods, smoking, sleeping at late hours. And what Ayurveda says is, again, first is weight loss, and the second thing is we have a lot of herbs, like for example, Shilajit, which will improve the cardiac capacity. There is a herb called Arjuna, which is used in those patients who have heart problems. It also improves the ejection fraction of the heart. Then we have a simple thing as garlic. So all those who have a history of any cardiac problem and do not have any problems of the stomach like acidity, what I recommend is having a garlic boiled milk. You can take about 4 cloves of garlic, make a paste of it, add to milk, boil and filter. In addition to this, the most important thing is exercise. Then moving on, other thing what is commonly seen now, we have a lot of youngsters between the age group of 20 and 40 who come to us with back pain, neck pain, and we need to understand why does a young individual get a degenerative problem. This is because of wrong posture. Working from home is going to make it worse. So if you have a history of a back pain or neck pain, it's very important to make sure that you work in a table and a chair which is comfortable. For example, people who lift too much weights, people who do too much of forward bending, these are people, or those people who travel long distances are more susceptible to getting a back pain. So a person who has a back pain, we need to strengthen the back. Back strengthening can happen in 2 ways. Exercises, we have a lot of physiotherapy exercises. We have yoga, a lot of yoga asanas are good for the back. For example, Bhujangasana and Salabhasana are very good for back strengthening. Then we have oils. In Ayurveda, what Ayurveda says is, if there is an increase in Vata, the best treatment is application of oil. So various Ayurvedic oils are available, which has to be applied in a downward direction, which is from the hip right down to the feet. And then after applying the oil, you can have a hot water bath or go in for a hot water fermentation. Herbs like, for example, again garlic are very useful. There are a lot of kashayas like Rasna based kashayas like Rasna Saptakam kashayas which help in strengthening the back. Next is the neck pain. We all use our phones. We are so addicted to our phones that most people cannot even sleep without your phone. And using your phone or laptop in excess, or making sure that your phone is not kept at a right angle, can cause a degeneration of the neck over a period of time and can lead to cervical spondylosis. We have a lot of corporates who work for 10 to 12 hours on their laptop. So it's important to know how to sit in a chair. Your laptop has to be about 2 inches below the eye level. If you keep your laptop at a very low level or at a very high level, you unnecessarily put a lot of strain on the neck. And this is what causes the degeneration. So it's very important to make sure that our posture is right. Traveling long distance, carrying heavy bags, and doing other physical activities can also cause a degeneration. But it's important to know that these things all can be treated. If a person has a neck pain or back pain, immediately contact your nearest Ayurvedic doctor and don't wait for it to become more chronic. Because most of us wait for it to become chronic, and that's when you go to an Ayurvedic doctor. There are a lot of treatments, Panchakarma treatments, like we have Kati Vasti, we have Griva Vasti, which are local oil retention treatments. At home, you all can do simpler treatments like Pichu. So Pichu is a treatment where oil is made warm, is dipped in a cotton piece, and the soaked cotton piece is placed either on the neck or the back for a period of half an hour to 45 minutes. But in our clinics, we have a lot of other treatments which will help in strengthening the spine. Then going on to it, what are the benefits of massage? So application of oil is not only for relaxation, it's not only for those people who have arthritis. Most people have understanding that you only go to an Ayurvedic doctor, you only go to an Ayurvedic center when you have a very severe pain. A normal individual who does a lot of physical activities or someone who has a lot of physical strain can also get a massage done. It helps in strengthening of the neck muscles. It helps in strengthening of all the muscles of the body. It strengthens the joints, improves the flexibility, improves the joint movements, and it also induces better sleep. So today I'm speaking only about the physical part of the problem which are seen in corporates. The entire part of stress management and about insomnia and about anxiety is being dealt with by Dr. Sharat, and he'll be dealing more with it. So moving on, the next common thing what we see, we are in the peak of summer in India. A lot of people have skin diseases. We need to understand why does eczema or psoriasis or even acne for a matter happen. Ayurveda says that all skin diseases happen because of an increase in the pitta dosha. As a result, there is an impurity in the blood. So you all must have heard about it, that a person who has an impure blood will have acne. So for people with acne, you use a lot of blood purification herbs. Similarly is for all skin diseases. Person who has psoriasis or eczema, he first will need to avoid foods which are highly acidic, like deep fried foods. You need to avoid too much of sour and citric fruits. You need to avoid all seafoods like fish and prawns. Certain food items can cause allergies. As I said, it's very important to know what is causing or triggering of a disease. For example, brinjal or mushrooms can be a trigger. So if you have a skin disease which is triggered by a given herb or a drug, for a matter of fact, you first need to identify. And it's important to make a note, take a diary, and if you have an episode where there's an increase in your skin lesions, make a note and see what are the foods that you eat in the previous day. So now coming to the treatment part. There are a lot of herbs, right from the neem which grows in your backyard to herbs like manjista, to guduchi, arakvada, which help in purification of the blood. There are treatments, for example, a panchakarma treatment called virechana, which is a purgation treatment, so which is very, very effective in skin disease. Most of the people who have a skin disease have an underlying history of constipation, and we give them a purgation. And then if still they don't recover, then we go in for a classical panchakarma where we give ghee for a period of 5 to 7 days, followed by the virechana. Then moving on, next, as you can see over here, is how does Ayurveda increase productivity? We have a lot of young guys here who know that being at home, working for a corporate, how can you increase your productivity? It's very important to know that a fit employee exhibits more energy and more output. Health is directly proportional to the amount of work you can do. If a person has a problem, he will definitely not be able to perform to his fullest. So it's first important to take care of your health, and only if you are healthy can you work better. So for corporates, the few things what I would recommend are, first is panchakarma. Now if you all at home, this is the best time to go for a detox. As I said, normally we go in for hospitalization, but you all can also do a detox program right from your home. This will help in a lot of problems, right from weight loss to skin diseases. Second thing is having a sattvic diet. So being at home, we have 3 to 4 meals at least a day. It's important to know and to understand what we put into our bodies, because we are what we eat. The next is regular exercise. I know that all the gyms are closed, but still we need to make sure that we exercise from our homes. Do things which are possible inside of your house. And the last thing is that we have treatments for those people. We have corporate packages. We have treatments like Shirodhara, like Navarakiri, which helps, like for example, Shirodhara helps in people who have anxiety, stress. So basically what Shirodhara is that we pour a continuous stream of oil on the forehead for a period of half an hour to 45 minutes. This brings down the nervousness. It makes the person calm and also induces sleep. For people who want a general rejuvenation, we have a treatment called Navarakiri, which is also very good for the skin. So this is basically a massage which is made It basically fermentation massage where we use basic rice, which is a variety of red rice, along with certain herbs like hala, which are boiled, and then we go in for a fermentation massage with this boiled rice. So it's important to know. At last, before I complete, I just want to say that it's important to stay healthy, and as Ayurveda says, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Bhavantu Niramaya.